Shalom, Rastafari, Assalamu Alaikum, peace to the kings and the queens of the earth. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's just having a solid middle of the week type of vibe. And if you are on Ramadan, you have a couple more days left. So really proud of you for making it this far and to celebrate Eid this weekend. So hope everyone's safe and has made it through the Ramadan season and has uplifted themselves and continue to be better people. Also, people, again, it's allergy season. We're starting off with that shit. So make sure you just kind of hone in on your health as much as possible, mental, physical, and of course, most importantly, spiritual. Today, I just wanted to, I did a video yesterday about a young teenager, a young man who was shot by his neighbor or by a person who he went to the wrong house because he was trying to find his siblings. He was trying to find his brothers and sisters. And he was shot by an 85-year-old racist bigot. And then he actually went to another house. They didn't answer. And in another house, obviously said, put your hands up. And then finally they figured out what was happening. Such a tragic event for this young man. But thank goodness and thank God. He is, word has it that he's very recovering at home. His name is Ralph Yarl. Ralph Yarl. I'm definitely not going to say the name of anybody else involved who did this tragedy to him, but his name is Ralph Yarl. And again, I had a different subject that I was going to talk about, but I know with these things that pop out, I'm not going to just stick to some schedule. I'll talk about what I want to talk about today on Friday. And the video that I even did yesterday just happened to just be, something I need to speak out on. And I really appreciate everybody commenting on it, especially guys, like I got a list here, especially people from, my man DJ DJ Scorpion King, Grind Garrison, King Farai, CCC Tour, Nick Clayton, my cousin Jazz, of course, Joe Wizard, Dino Records, a couple guys that really made some comments on the last little video that I did. That was about 4 minutes. And especially DJ Scorpion, like literally, it's a situation where we are getting driven insane, literally. Like this is the definition of insanity. I was talking to my best friend last night about it. It's a situation, the definition of insanity is doing something and expecting different results. And we have tried to do this in a peaceful way. We have tried to do this in a protesting way. And it's almost as if they just know that, no, just let them protest and we'll go on about our day. Now, I love seeing the reaction. I love seeing the response out there in Kansas City, Missouri. I was actually born in Kansas City. I was actually born in this city. I don't really remember much about it. I was only there for like maybe a year or two, but this is my birthplace. And if you look at Kansas City on the map, it is literally the center of the United States of America. You can't get no center than that. So basically you're in the center of Babylon. And I love seeing his classmates, people he went to school with, they all are protesting, screaming, "We love you, Ralph," and standing firm. And I hope that these kids never forget times like this and understand why it is happening. And of course, it's just like everything. Like I don't really understand the defense of some of this attitude. I remember seeing reports that when it first came out, that his neighbors were trying to defend him, like he's a good man. And it always happens. It always happens. But at the end of the day, you're 85 years old. Rewind back 85 years from now. You grew up in a different period. You remember when Martin Luther King was alive. You remember, you know what I mean? You were there under those conditions. And if you can just live your life in your little house and be racist like how you want to and have your issues, and then die on those principles, no one would ever know. But it was almost like you were waiting for the time all your life to take out your anger on black people by having this, this motivation that someone's on my property, so I'm going to shoot them. And also, like I said, DJ Scorpion King had a great take on this. And I thought about this, and I meditated about this also, about how society has tried to stop us from reacting because they know that I think one day it might come, and it's going to come on a serious level. Going back into history, okay, going back into the slave history of our people, they were always scared of us revolting. Now, there was uprisings all over the place, but they were very scared of it. You know why? Because they knew what they were doing, I think, at the heart, right? They knew, but they just kind of figured that we were just second class, third class, fourth class citizens who were just not human, right? They literally treated us like cattle. Willie Lynch, I quote, literally had things that compared us to cattle or horses, like how to train us or train black people into be better slaves. They also had laws, like you couldn't gather more than five black people on a corner was literally outlawed. If you walked at night and you were black, you had to hold a light or a lantern or something to identify yourself. You were not able to legally weaponize or protect yourself. You couldn't obtain weapons to protect your property. That was illegal. So they try to do everything in their will to prevent us from taking full, action. I was telling my friend last night, and I mentioned it in the video also, where we have 6 million people to the 4 million people that are there, right? So 6 million freed slaves and 4 million like white people, who enslaved them or just let it happen. And we never just, turned into like a militia. We could have easily had a militia of about 2 million out of the 6 million and created our own nation or some serious action. But that was never the onus or the makeup that was never our culture, as to be like vengeful. Even though there was times we got fed up, they also had us in such a fear mongrel type of situation where we just, we didn't want to die for it. We just here, we want to stay alive, and that's it. So fast forward to the civil rights movements, where now you're trying to really make action, right? 60s, 70s, 50s, 40s, 30s even. And the fucked up part of how the states treated us is that, they can use us for war, right? They used us in the Civil War. They used us in World War I even. And then in World War II, they're still using us. And then they were scared. Okay, this is documentation. They were scared that once we went to World War II, right, and we fought with the French and against at the time the Italian forces, and we're overseas and we're being treated like regular citizens. And then you weaponize us, and then we come back, and then you tell us we can't vote. You tell our women we can't vote. We can't go to specific hotels. We can't do anything. You let them still. We're fighting and putting our life on the line. And they were and they were literally scared that we were going to come back and ask for real citizenship and get real benefits. Like, they had been scared of the uprising of black people for the longest time, and all we wanted to do was just be free. All we wanted to do was have our own. We didn't need to take revenge, and to be honest, a lot of people in this society are lucky that we're still not at least that type. I can't imagine this happening to another race and not being a reaction. I don't think that there would be too many white people getting shot by black people without somebody on that right crazy ass, side coming and doing a reaction, or a militia coming together and talking about we need to protect our kids, and you know how it would go down. So my point is the fact that this is exactly why they try to delete our history, right? Because they're literally just deleting greatness. They're deleting things that show who the real enemy is, who the real terrorist is. white supremacy by the feds is the biggest terrorist situation in the United States. There's no debating that. There's no like, oh, okay, that's just fake news. Or that's what it is. The massive shootings, the shootings that happen to innocent people, and the attacks that are happening are still because of the danger of white supremacy. You can talk all you want to about the violence that black people have, but I talked to my homie last night about it. We shoot ourselves. Okay, we'll get mad and probably shoot ourselves because we hate ourselves. Some of us hate ourselves, so we'll get mad and shoot somebody who looks like us, right? But we won't get mad and go shoot up a school. We won't get mad and go shoot up some random person. If a white person came to a black neighborhood and he was lost, or a white kid, 16 years old, was trying to find his siblings and he was lost and he came to the wrong house and he knocked on the door. And I don't know any black person who the first reaction would be was to shoot him. Think about that for 1 second. And if that happened, the black person would have been arrested, charged for murder, and it would have been an open and shut case. But it took a while for them. It took about a day or so for them to come up with charges and then literally do, kind of sit there and talk. And it's really weird how they react when you know if this is full out racism, when you know this is full out bigotry, when you know this is full out hate. It's kind of ironic how they react like it's not, oh, we gotta take our time. Knowing good and hell well, if Ralph Yarl was, Johnny Polinsky, okay? Some Polish white kid who was just trying to find his brother and sister, and then the guy's name is Jerome, the other guy who shot him is just black. Please, this whole thing would be different. But when is enough going to be enough? That's the thing that I'm battling with, is that, when someone continues to do something to you that really makes you wonder why you keep doing it and why don't you learn your lesson, then you have to react, right? If someone keeps let's say someone keeps stepping on your toe, there's going to be a point where you're like, you ain't going to step on my toe one time. If I got to cut your foot off to make sure that you don't get some urge to do it again, then maybe that's what I got to do. But I'm asking you. So what up with black people? Like, people keep killing us, and we marched. We've had specific reactions. We've tried to get into legislation. We've had a black president. We have a black VP right now. Notice how quiet these people are. These good old Democrats, right? Look how quiet they are. Biden, Kamala Harris, you over there in Africa. You're quiet as a church mice when you see these things go on, because you still are playing the position, which is gross to me. And I think that these people need to understand that one day you will have karma coming back for your cowardice. This is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. This is actually in the Quran as well. There is a punishment for cowardice. There is a punishment for people who do not stand up and say the right things or do the right things when they know atrocities are happening. There is literally a punishment for that. This isn't some just like, oh, religious. This is like karma. You keep on being quiet and you keep on not saying. I'm not talking about it. Listen, if you're a public person and you're quiet for a reason, and I respect that. At least you're like, whatever. There's people who I know on a personal level who never say a damn thing about this stuff. But the moment that they're doing something that might affect their personal business, all of a sudden they'll speak up. So they are really letting you know that ultimately I don't really care about anyone when it comes to talking and protesting, except for myself and maybe a couple of my friends. But I really don't care. Because don't get it twisted. There's people who know a lot of black people, and they'll at least retweet, repost, like the pic, share the pic. You know what I mean? Whatever. And there's people who have black people come to their house every day, and they will literally see or hear someone getting shot and killed. And it happens so much that they have now turned a blind eye to it because it's this is the typical response. Oh man, that sucks. How can we stop that? How can we, da 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 da. Oh well, and then you go and eat your fucking burgers and fries, and you don't give a fuck. Eat your good little meal and walk off. Meanwhile, this is psychologically kind of fucking with black people. I don't think people understand. If you have a heart and you care about this stuff, then naturally you're going to have a specific mental, like, you might not have the best day when hearing some news. And people are like, well, hey, I mean, I've had that. Well, that had nothing to do with you. I had an ex who did that shit. They had nothing to do with you. So why are you so distraught about it? And I literally, that was the end of that relationship. Like, that was like, okay. Within a couple weeks, I was the fuck out of there. Because it just, like, I don't understand. I have friends who have sons that age, right? 13, 14, 15, 16. They're scared shitless, right? Like, and I'm talking about parents with black kids. I'm talking about parents with mixed kids who just look a little black or look black or are black, but they, ultimately their mother is white and maybe their dad is black, but they're black. They identify as black. They know what it is. Same damn near skin tone as I am. So they're scared shitless of simply having their son go to their friend's house, right? You would think in the United States of America, you can send a kid to a neighborhood that's not crazy, and if in case he just happens to knock on the wrong house, where someone could have that old man could have opened the house and said, hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong house. Well, what house are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for this. Oh, yeah. So it's the next block over there. Matter of fact, do you know where? Do you have a phone? No, I don't have my phone. Hold on for 1 second. Let me get my phone out, and I'll show you to you on your MapQuest. Simple. But because the kid is black, you literally just shoot him because you're scared. Why are you so scared? I don't know. It's really it's an awkward, really weird situation that at the end of the day, that's why it's weird because like, yo, you're just racist. Like, well, why? What's the motivation here? You're not stopping nothing. And you not stopping anything. You notice how we haven't done anything to separate ourselves or exclude ourselves from society because of what you've done. Imagine if we literally did that. Imagine if 45 million black people in the United States of America and another, let's say 5 million in Canada just decided to be like, you know what, we're tired. And this is a revolution that's happening. And we're going to hit you where it hurts. And we're going to invest in nothing but black. We're going to create black programs, black banks, black schools. We already have that, but I'm talking about on a massive scale, like a real scale where all of a sudden you see a bunch of money, you see a bunch of black dollars, because what people don't understand is we are one of the biggest consumers of useless shit in the United States of America. The black community generates trillions of dollars of useless money, which means we invest in jewelry, cars, just other things that aren't even like black operated, right? Shoes, whatever the fuck. So if we put our dollar together and just decide to just say, fuck it, the economy might crash, right? And then we put it into our own and then take care of our own, like other communities, like other ethnicities do, like the brown community, right? Like how they have the little secret societies and little secret pods of things that happen. And then, next thing you know, you see these people who barely work at, they're working at Osmos, but they sit in the house somehow because they've had, two families come together and take care of them and put them in a position. They're lucky that we don't do that because we have been mentally just, we wanted to be free and then all of a sudden we get free and then we get to a certain level and there's a separation of certain black people who know what's happening, but they don't really care. They're just getting theirs. And there's certain black people who just want peace. And so they get along with everybody and they don't really want to put the pressure on. It's like, I know some good white people and there's people who just are like in the middle, like me, like, yo, I got love for everybody, but you know what time it is with us. You can smell a racist from a mile away. I'm telling you. And you can also smell, the ones that are, to me, are the worst ones aren't the racist. It ain't the ones that doing it. It's the ones that are infiltrated into the situation. The teachers, the coaches. You know what I mean? There's some teachers I know for a fact, even on a different cultural scale, they are sitting there living their life, hiding the fact that they are probably internally racist as all hell. They don't really give a fuck about nobody else but themselves, and it's clear. So they'll do little charity work and do little things and add their little 2 cents just to make themselves feel better. Probably for some shit they did in the past, or probably whatever. Or I've even read, like I said, the books that I read, some people just need black bodies around them. That token, I'm going to say it, that token nigga. They just need it, just to justify it. It's just kind of like it. And then there's people who got love, straight love because there's a love for it. They love everything about us. That is because that is genuine love, right? And I salute all those people. But there's people who sit on that damn sideline, and I'm telling you right now, there is going to be a point where sitting on that sideline is going to get you fucked up. On either side, too. Because these are kids getting killed out here. This people don't really get, if we take down the names, just the names of the young generation that was killed by either police or racist tactics in the past decade, this list is long. This list is so long that we forget about instances until like people like Sean King or other platforms remind us, right? It happens so much. That's the fucked up part about it. It's happened so much that now there are people who are just immune to it. They just know that every other day they're going to hear about a black man getting shot or a black kid getting shot unjustly, and they're going to protest and da-da-da-da-da. Like, they know that. There's people who know that. And it's like, you don't really care because you just put your head in the ostrich hole, say, oh, I'm just going to go to my house and that's all about my family. And this is why you need to just get away. So it doesn't affect you because you don't know anybody that's been affected by it directly, which is fucked up because I'm not like, for instance, Ralph Yarl isn't my cousin, isn't my nephew, but he looks just like every one of my family members. So to me, it's like there's no possible way I can't have a direct connection. And then for those other people who say, well, I'm not black and da-da-da-da, well, if you have a connection, you know why? Because these same people getting killed built the damn country you living in, right? We sit there and leave you the fuck alone. Notice how there's not an aggressive, proactive attack against white people from black people. You even notice that? No one says that. Like, out of everything that happens, you would think that there'd be a militia of about 20,000 black people who decided to just pull up and start blasting, right? But let some of these white people lose an election and they're storming the Capitol, killing police officers. Do you understand how fucked up this is? They're killing our kids. They're shooting our kids. They're making it very blatantly that this racism ain't going no damn where, and we don't react. However, when, again, you get your election messed up and you're the one person you don't want that is in there, you storm the damn Capitol, and then you call it a tour, and then you politicians just sit there and lie, and then get called out for it, and then you just like, nope, I said it. It's like, it's gross. Some of the most manipulative people are these fucking politicians, man, because you just sit there and watch them like, you fucked up. And they just put on this nice, real right, like you just put on this nice little, swagger about it and then go behind closed doors and make laws that don't give a fuck about us. You're taking education away. And I saw a clip today. If you are black and you're alive, I got love for you because we're not supposed to be here. Don't say what you want about other cultures, and I understand it. They don't want us here. If they wanted us, they'd want us to entertain them, dribble a basketball, And when everything happens, just calm down. Just don't worry about it. It's gonna like that's their way of us. Just calm down. It's okay. That guy's fucked up. He's mentally ill. That guy's messed up. Nah. No one talks about the guy who shot Ralph Yarl. No one talks about this guy having books on Amazon about being an angry Christian. Yeah. Angry Christian. This is why black people should really understand when you talk about religion, get your shit in order. You better know who you're praying to. Because some of these people are still hiding behind this Christian cross and then shooting people and killing them, especially black people. That's slavery time. They would recite Bible verses as they would whip us, chain us, decapitate us, castrate us, rape us, all under the fucking cross of their Christian, of their white Jesus. This is devil shit, man. This is devilish shit. And all I got to say in conclusion is literally the anger inside and the pain is multiplied by many. I just don't think they understand that there's going to be a point where someone's just not going to take it. I don't care how much money you offer. I don't care what you think. I don't care if they have things to lose. I just don't understand why it continues to happen. And then the government federally, feds should be attacking. Anytime there's a racial situation, they should be attacking it. Not like, well, we got to see about the laws of the state, see if there's any laws. Okay, that law was broken. We got to make sure fuck out of here, man. You know what I like about Germany in World War II? Is that they literally took everything, all that fuckery that happened with the Nazis, and they rebuilt their entire country, and they made it illegal for you to even talk about this shit. Right? Well, I don't think it's illegal. You need to be illegal to talk about this shit over here. But there needs to be some reaction. There needs to be reparations. And there needs to also be literally specific laws. If this is a racial motivated situation, it shouldn't just be like, oh, it's a hate crime. It should be like, you're going to jail for life. DeSantos, you want to put pedophiles in jail for life? Great, good, I'm with that. How about racist fucks who kill people? How about people like that? Because you don't think that these people are breeding the other people that shoot up schools? You don't think they breed cops, lawyers, doctors, electoral officials, hell, people, plumbers, HVACs, they go right up in your house and be racist as all fuck, take your fucking money and go home and call you nigga in the car. So I don't know the conclusion. I know there's a conclusion. The conclusion is to strike back. That's ordained by order. But knowing that the society has put distractions like money and things to lose, right? Give them something to lose. Because they're telling them right now, if we had nothing to lose, this shit would be crazy already. But when you give us something to lose, all of a sudden people start second guessing. Okay, do I really want to protest? Do I really want to say anything? Oh, I don't want to offend this person because they pay me, or I don't want to stand up because I'm getting paid. I'm in the playoffs for basketball. I don't want to stand up. I'm going to the NFL. I'm in there's going to be a time where none of that makes sense. Or none of that actually does anything. It's going to be a time. It needs to happen now because I'm tired of seeing, especially my young kings and queens, shot down the street for nothing. I'm tired of it. I've been tired of it since, it's before Rodney King. I don't want to hear that shit. I used to hear stories from my grandmas and my mom and seen stuff. So then Rodney King, we got it on tape. Okay, whatever. It didn't stop a damn thing. It got worse. Because now these cops even will even turn off their fucking cams, right? So be careful. Be careful out there. If you have young kings, be careful. Be dangerous. Be vigilant. Don't trust nobody. Get back to that. Right? Get back to that. Don't look in and be nice as hell, but be on guard because this is the world we live in. I'm tired of the frivolous. I don't want to live in it. This is what we're living in if you're black, especially. Much love to y'all.